Okay, my people, welcome to part two of our dashboard. So today we'll be doing more of the visuals. The last time, which was the part one, we showed us how we brought the data set, a little bit of the transformation that comes with it, and today we'll be diving into the proper data visualizations and then how to help you to create these things on your own. The idea of one of the challenges I must tell you that comes with data analytics is the ability to think on your own. So it's easy to follow a tutorial and then do whatever the person is doing. But please, as you are doing this, I want you to always have decisions on your own. I want you to always think for yourself. Maybe the way I used to do it then, maybe if I use a blue color or something, you can decide on your own to use a red color or to use a yellow or a black. Try to be a bit different from yours, from what I'm doing, but still the same thing. It's still going to be the same process and the same thing, but try to have some variations in your own. It makes you to start understanding how to do some of these things on your own, I believe. It's my secret that I'm sharing with you, and I really want you to learn as you grow in this journey. If you are new and you're just seeing this video for the first time, I will encourage you to go through the part one. This is only the part two of what we started. We are building business financial dashboard, which I promise that I will show you, walk you through how we did it. So this time around is gonna be more of visualizations, and I want you to follow my step one by one. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section. I promise you I'll respond to you as much as I can. And then I want you to see this platform as a place where we learn. So even me myself can make a mistake. So unlike most of these videos you see, I won't cut out any mistake, just to show you that even me can make a mistake. Anybody can make a mistake, but it's about retracing your mistake and getting it right at the end of the day. That is what should matter. For me, that is proper learning. So you don't think that, oh, I know it all, or I have it all, and I should be flawless. So but even the greatest of all the experts will still make a mistake. But it's about retracing and understanding that you've made a mistake and then retracing your mistakes and getting it right. That is what should matter. Without much further ado, let's hop into the business of today. So the first thing we'll do is to create our background, just like we from what we did in the part one. I showed us picture of what the dashboard looked like. So that dashboard that you saw, so the first thing we'll do is to create that background, the background of that dashboard, to make it look appealing, and then to align, to start working on or planning on aligning our charts. If you've not seen, let me just drag. Okay, you won't see it. After this, I will just show you a picture of how we did it, how we did the first dashboard, so you understand what I'm saying. But so let's get into it. So the first thing is I'm going to create two shapes of a dash, two shapes. Let me just show you. So I'm gonna get this. All right. So just I'm gonna build it. It makes sense. Yeah. So this is our header background. Okay. Then again, I'll also bring another shape. Let's say we'll call that, yeah, another of this, and then we'll try to rotate it. 180. No, I think hmm. Oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's true. So I was trying to rotate it, but what we'll do is a free cutting shape, so you can cut it the way you want. So instead of trying to rotate it, we don't need rotating it from here. So what we can do, we can just bring it like this. Yeah, exactly. So this can represent the sidebar. So this is for the sidebar. Yeah. So this is for the sidebar. I will just show you how to handle some of these shapes as time goes on. So remember there is a line here, but for those of us that are good with design of any shape, so you can format it. For this, I will put it, I will send it to, or say send backward, so that this will be on top of this shape will be on top of this. Or I can make this shape to be on, I can send, either I send this backward or I send this forward. That's how to handle shapes, so that that line will not be seen on top of the shape, rather beneath it. So that's one way we can go around that. So now is to do the coloring. Um, so so this is where we'll color our shape. We'll come here to the style. So you see the color. So now I'm going to copy the color of the other one that I did, so that it will remain the same, because you are trying to make you're trying to remake exactly that dashboard. But at the same time, you can also choose a color that is maybe appealing to yourself. And I really would like to see what you've done. You can send your screenshot and put it on the comment section, and I'll review it. Just show me your own color, what you've done, and let me also look at it. Let me see how you think about color, and subsequently we'll discuss on that. So let me copy the color of the first dashboard, the dashboard that we did, so we can be on the same track. I'm going to that to copy to make sure that it is exact. Yeah, I will also show us the color in case for those that wish to just remake exactly mine. I will show you, I will copy the color and still show you. So I've copied the color, and this also goes, you must not also use the colors that are presented to you here. You can, go to Google or anywhere, or any any color palette platform to get any color with its hex code. So what you do, any color with its hex code that you can just come here and paste that color. Simple as I don't need to suffer yourself. This is what we call the hex code. This is the hex code. So you can paste the hex code of any color that you wish to use. So I'm going to paste ours. So this is exactly the same color that we use. You see the way I pasted it, the same way you can paste any color code of any color that you wish to use to your own, and make it look palatable and pleasing to your eye. Now, Power BI does one thing that I like about color. It retains your recently used colors so that it helps you in your easy formatting and all that. So next time we'll do anything about color, you see that this color will always pop out. Now, let me show you. Now, here it is still blue, right? But if we go here now, you see that the last color that we use, I don't need to go and copy it again. So Power BI has already stored it, hoping that this is the color you will be using along in your work. So it will be storing any new color that we use that are unique to each other. It will be storing it here for easy use. So I'm just going to click here. So it will remain the same. Now, we can see a blue line here. I don't want that blue line. So either I change that blue line to match the exact color, or I just go to the background, sorry, to the background of that color, and then I'll remove no, sorry, yes, to the background, to the border. So the border, the border line, that was the color that was showing. So what we'll do is simple. We can just remove the border. You see, that blue line is no longer showing. So, or if you still want to add style to your own, maybe you can give your border line a different color or something. But because I just want it plain like this, I don't want anything to interact within the two shapes. I want it to remain the same color. That's why I removed the borderline. Okay, good. So next thing we'll do is I'm going to put my logo, the way I built it. I think this is a bit too much. Yeah, maybe I'll just leave it somehow like this. Yes, so we can have enough space. So next thing, I'm going to copy my logo. I will also I mean, if you want to use my logo, or if you want to use any logo, or you can decide not to use any logo, that it depends on what you exactly want to do. If you want to really do exactly what I've done, then I'll drop my logo in the comment section, or maybe you can put it on the comment section that you want my logo or something, so I can copy it to you, I can paste it to you so you can use. Yeah, but I'm going to copy, copy my logo. Now, what I did now, I did copy and paste. I will also show you, you can also come here to, if you download it as an image, you can also come here and upload it as an image. So this is my where I got my logo. So you can also come here and then upload it as what? As an image. All right, good. We are there. So I'm just gonna shift this. So the logo has taken its shape. So the next thing we'll do the name, the page name. So first of all, we can add the text box here. Yeah. Too much. Yeah, the text box was too much. Just for you to see that it is actually a text box. That's why I'm minimizing it. Because at the end of the day, I'll still put it where I want to put it. So this is our sales overview. Sales overview. In the actual sense, some of this formatting should come after. There's what we call planning. You're supposed to have planned what you have to do on every page. Because I've already planned that I'm going to, my first page will be about sales overview and all that. So that's why you see me just going straight to it. So, but in practice, most cases you have to have planned your pages. Analysis is you must have planned what exactly you want to show on every page, from the chart types to the data types to the storyline. So each page will have a particular thing they are saying. So your charts as well should have some kind of connection between the whole charts. What's this whole chart saying? Looking at the page, so these are all the things you have to consider. So looking at sales overview means that we're all going to look at sales in general, of the sales made in that business. It could be across this, across that, across country, across segment, across. So it has to be everything about sales. That's the ideology of the name that you give to the page. So it creates awareness. It gives clue of what that page is all about. So I will also because we are doing a remake, so I will use exactly the same thing I use in the other one, which is CGUI, that's the font, and then is font size 20. That's what we use. Yes, font size 20. And of course, I will show you how we can also format it. Okay. Now I'm going to format this. Of course, it's not going to be like this. So we are going to format it. Okay. Now you see when I click on that shape, this is where we can format that shape. So I'm formatting it is simple. I'm just going to remove the background, so it can assume the background of the header that we already have, and then I'll just simply change the font color to white. That's all, just white. So this is exactly what we'll have in the other one. Then for those other buttons will come as time goes on. So this is just what I'm going to do so far on this. Then we'll just enter into the data visualization, creating some charts. So one of the things we'll look at is, we'll call it KPIs. These are like, or cards. So we use cards to show KPIs of that dashboard. KPIs are like the key metrics to look at. And in this page is all about sales, but because it's business, so we may not have full understanding of what sales is all about if we don't say how many units sold. So there can be so many products sold at 1 million. Sorry. And then there can also be one product that is sold at just 1 million. So we will not have a clue of how many sales were made or how many sales accumulated to these amounts. So that's why it's always good as well when you're associating sales amount, you associate it with how many units sold. It shows a ton of analytics, to be you have to give full information to help your stakeholders understand the analytics. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll create our card. So I want you guys to always see what I'm doing. So this here we'll start creating, we'll start building the structure of the data, how we want our data to look like. So this, I can just either I copy and paste. I just copy these charts, click out, and then paste it. So I can double, like have it double, or you can just pick another one from here, anyhow. So I don't know, for those that are new on Power BI, so these are different chart types. So this is card. So the two tips will tell you the kind of chart it is. We'll have a dedicated video to explain some of this chart, but for now we're only doing a remake of our dashboard. Then we'll come back and start telling us. We just felt like let's start from here just to make it interesting. Then we'll come back and start telling and then explain some of these charts and why they are used this way and where and how you can use them. Because for me, that is what will be that is what will be that is what will matter as a data analyst. Your ability to decide the charts to use, how to use them, and when to use them. How, when, and where. These three things are very, very important. That is, for me, that's what defines your intuition as an analyst. So it's not about, you can easily follow my tutorial and do exactly as I'm doing, but on your own, how do you start on your own? And that is the exact thing I want to start as early as possible to imbibe in us. To start early as possible, to start thinking on your own, choosing your own color, knowing the exact charts to use, when to use them, where to use them, and all that. So these are all important things for me that are very, very necessary. Okay. So now we're going to do the total sales. Now, remember, this is our table, right? Now I'm going to also build a measure of total sales. There are two ways. I will show us the two ways that we can go about this. One of those ways is I can just come here and drag sales to this field as a card. It tells me sum of sales now is coming. So you see, like we'll just drag the sales to the field, and then it says sum of sales, and then it gives us this. So I can decide to rename this. You remember, I'm showing us two ways. So I can decide to rename this. I can just come here and double tap to rename the sum of sales into total sales. Total sales. Yeah. So and then I can also come here here and remove if I just want it to just show me to just show me a single like a whole number currency, like to approximate it. I don't want any decimal place. I can just remove the decimal place to 0. Sorry, let me just 0. If you still want it in 2 decimal place, you can place it like this. But just an approximation is an analytics. It doesn't. When dealing with money, take this from me. It's always good to use 2 decimal place when dealing with money. So it gives a real idea of what that money is. For instance, this is 18.73 million. But if we do it to 0 decimal place, it is 119 million. So one would think, oh, the total sales is 19 million, not knowing that it is 18 million, stuff like that, about 18 million, 730,000 or thereabout. So, sorry, 118 million, 730. So these are all the things you might consider. But just for the sake of this dashboard, I felt like to just use on approximation 0 decimal place. But take this from me as an advice. especially in the real sense of things, always use two decimal place. But this is only just for analytics sake, for dashboard sake. I decided to use a one decimal place. All right. So display units. So here is, you see this million. So I'm just going to show us how this million comes about. It is currently in million automatically. That is the auto that you can see here. There are also some cases where you feel it is maybe we'll come to those cases where I can show you how we can decide to change to a suitable display unit. But let me just show you if we put it in billions, so it's 0 billion. If we put it in thousand, it see what it will show us. 18,720. So it gives you everything in thousand. It gives us everything in thousand, but because we are just trying to short form the number, we'll still leave it in the million, which is also the auto. So first of all, Power BI uses automatically what Power BI uses what it feels is suitable at that time you are doing it. So if it aligns with what Power BI has given you, that's it, you are good. But if it doesn't align, that's why we have this formatting. We can then format it according to exactly the way you want yours to look like, if you get me. Yeah. So what other thing? I'm not going to do start the whole formatting fully. So what you're going to do is we're going to put all the whole chart and then we'll start the formatting. Is that all right? So remember, this is only one way that we can do this. Now, but there is an issue. The issue that I have with this is each time I will have to be renaming it, be dragging it, and any place I use it, I'll have to rename it again and then format it exactly the way it is. But if we create a measure that will always use all the time, just easy, drag it, boom, everything will just fall in. Now that's why I will always use measure, because it's way easier for me. I don't know for you, but my job is to tell you two ways that you can do it. So this is the second way that I'm going to create the same thing so that you see that there are two ways to go about it. One is to use normal analytics from normal column from the dashboard. So what it does, let me explain to you what happens here. So remember we named this to be, so the actual name is sum of business data. So sum of, that is the automatic operation that Power BI has applied to that numeric column. Now, because it aligns with what I want, which is the sum, I want sum. Let's assume I wanted average. So because it only applies to numeric columns, the ones that you see summation signs around and close to them. They are those ones that have some arithmetic operations that can be applied to them. So here, see, it is a sum. If I want average, I could have just put it in average. So you see, on average, it is 0 million because we've put that in million. But if it was in auto, Power BI would have given us a suitable display unit. But because we have selected million, it will remain that million because that is what we've done. That is what we selected. So Power BI retains whatever that you have selected. But anything that is in auto means that Power BI will only use what it feels is suitable to your own analytics. So just take these two steps. So this is an average. So there is maximum, there is distance count, there is standard. So these are like normal statistical operations that can be applied to a series of number, which is a column, a numeric column. So, but let's put it back to sum, which is exactly what we wanted. It's just to show you that everything mustn't really be about you knowing all the whole DAX. That's if you are too afraid, but there are some of them that you can just use based on what Power BI has done or has put in place. Just use them. You don't need to start creating. But if you want to be a very good successful analyst, you just have to learn to do so many things in different ways, so that as you use them, as it is applied to you, however you want and however you feel about it. So that's the leverage you will have to just know different ways of doing things. So let's create that measure. Exactly, we're going to replicate this with another method just to show you how we can. Now you see we have new measure, new column. So all these things will have dedicated videos to explain to you, but let me not be tempted to start explaining them, but just focus on what we are doing. But however, I will be giving some basics, the ones I feel are important according to what we are doing. So this is a new measure where we can also right click and see the same new measure. So either you right click on that table, or you just select the table as we've done, and then you see it. So there are different ways you can see it. Either you right click, and repeating myself, or you just click on the table and then you come to this tab and see new measure. So that new measure, you click on it. Now it's coming. Power BI is booting it up. Now this is where DAX comes in. DAX is simply the same way we create our normal. For those of us that are a bit good with Excel, that same sense you have about building Excel formula is the same. Is the same. So that is what we have here. So DAX is just a data analysis expression. Is some sort of language that Microsoft or Power BI puts in place, just for put in place for formulas and or all sorts, So it's good to always know your basic DAX, which is some of the operations you'll be using: sum, average, some indexing, calculate formula, and all. So for me, these are like major DAX that in business operations, that not just in business as a whole, that you will always use in your analysis. So now we are going to name that measure to be exactly what we want to call it: total sales equals to. Just like in Excel, equals to is what starts your formula. If there is no equals to, it will be confused. What is it that you are doing? But once you start with equals to, you understand. And then sum, just type sum. As you are typing sum, it will suggest to you. So just like we see in Excel, so you can see FX. So this is sum, summarize, sum X. So these are like different formulas, but we're only interested in sum. So either you click or just click enter. If you are typing on your keyboard and you've typed sum, it brings this out. Just click enter. Once you click enter, it automatically opens a bracket for you. But if you are typing, you feel like you already know your formula, you just type sum and then use your hand to put bracket. There's also another. So you see a suggestion that Power BI is giving us here. It's telling you sum, then in brackets, select a particular column. So just like we have in Excel, when you type formula, it gives us a suggestion of the arguments that we have to put in it. So the sum is only applied to a column where you have to either a numerical column that you want to sum, which is our sales column. So that's the idea. So Power BI now is expecting us to put a column name from our table, or on the table, or from any table that is on that model, which is on your whole dashboard that you are using. So we're just gonna click enter. So these are all the possible columns that Power BI has shown us. Now, you see, I cannot select country because country is not a numerical column. So you have to understand that some can only be applied to numerical columns. So we are just going to, because I've seen the column I want to use, which is sales, I'm going to select it. Now I'll give us the structure of some of the DAX formula. I'm going to explain the structure. Now here is the name of the measure, which is always advisable to name it according to the operation you are using. So we are using sum, so we are naming it total sales. If we are using average, we'll name it average sales, so that it tells you the operation you've used. All right. So sum. Now this business data, the first here is the name of the table, because we're only just using one table. There are cases where you have different tables under one model. Now, it specifically selects, it tells you, because sales can be in business data table, it can be in maybe table 2 or table C. So that's why it first of all tells you from which table it has selected that column. So if you're also typing, let's say you're not using Power BI suggestion, so this is the way you also type it. Open quotation, put the name of the table, close the quotation, then open your index bracket, or people call it close bracket. So open the block bracket, then type the name of the column, then close the bracket, and then close your entire formula, which started with open braces or bracket, like people call it. So this is open bracket, this is closed brackets. So block or C brackets, anyhow you know the brackets. So this is just one way. So this sales means sales as the column name. Why this one means, so this is table and this is column. So in every formula, how do you know the one that is column and the one that is table? Columns are always in closed brackets, while table are always, table, as you can see, are in this single quotation. So the single quotation signifies the table, while the closed bracket signifies the name of the column. I know it might be elementary for some of us, but please bear in mind that I'm doing this also assuming that beginners are here. So, and meanwhile, it's also dedicated to beginners. So that is why we are just taking some of our time to explain some of these things. Now we've closed the bracket, and you have to always make sure that all your brackets matches. So this bracket means that it has matched with this, so there is no other for that thing. And in most cases, when you're making error, Power BI will always give you a sign. You see a red something. Let's assume that. Thank you. So you see, we deleted your, so there is a red black bracket telling us that we need to close, that this bracket is still open. We need to close it so that the formula can be correct. If we just enter like this, the formula, there will be an error. So the red here is already telling us that something is not right yet. But once we just close the bracket, it will close, everything is okay. Then you hit enter. Once we hit enter, that measure is already created, called total sales. Now, we can also format that measure in the best way we want. So how do we format a measure? Click on that measure first. You see what I've done? I clicked on that measure first. Then the measure tools will come out according to what you want. both the currency, percentage, comma, this and that. So however you want it to be, it will come. Now, we don't know yet because we don't know how it looks like when we drag it until we drag it so that we know exactly what we are formatting. Now we'll drag it to this, and it is, remember, we are trying to replicate this to show you two ways we can do this. So, and it is telling us total sales. And because we want it to have no decimal place, we just want an integer number. Now, what we're going to do is, we don't need to start formatting it like we did here. Just come to this column. Now, what it's telling us is in auto, this is decimal place. If you don't know, this is decimal place. This is comma. Places where like their number, they just give you a number, but comma is like 1,000 demarcator. So it demarcates in 1 million, it puts comma where comma needs to be. In 1,000, it puts comma. That is what this is all about. Then percentage is just to add the percent to, if it is a ratio, if it is already in a ratio form, or like a decimal form, and you want to convert it to percentage, you just click this, it converts it. The same way it goes. So this is like number formatting tool. So I'm going to just put it to 0. You can see we'll put it to 0 because that's all. This is exactly the way we want it. And then you can also decide to change your currency. So I'm using British pound because that's my base, but it's already a number. So it depends on where you're. For those in Nigeria, for instance, let me see if there is a Nigerian currency. Let's check. I like to try new things, Let's first of all, let me know if there is a search button. So we can search it. Okay, there is no search button. So let's go and see if we can see. Yes, I think I've seen Nigeria. So any place you see Nigeria, regardless of the tribe, I think they just put the currency according to the tribes. Ibibio, Nigeria, it's still Nigeria. Igbo, Nigeria. So let's assume we want to put it in Ibibio. We want the currency to show. Yeah. So gone are the days we go to, when we started analysis back in the days, we go to, we didn't know these things. I think these are now updated. This currency, it's some of them weren't there before. So we only go and carve out maybe from Google or anywhere, or do a design on the Naira, and then we put it beside the currency. So, but now you don't need those things. I think they are all inbuilt into the Power BI. And if you're also using Excel, you should also notice these things I'm saying. Naira, most of the currencies are now in the Microsoft suite. So, but let me just use exactly what I used in the first. The currency, like I said, should only be applied to the exact currency of the sales that you're analyzing. If your sales is in Naira, use Naira. If it is in dollar, use dollar. If it is in pounds, use pounds. But because this is only a sample data set, so I'm only just deciding which currency to use. It doesn't matter. So let me just switch it back to what it was before. So I'll select the measure so that the tools will come out. I'll then select. So you see recently used. So anyone use it can. That's one thing I love about Power BI. It stores or retains your recently used format just in case you want to use them again. And then these are just commonly used based on the analysis. They feel like this is what commonly people use, mostly based on people that use Power BI. I don't know if it is from that, but we use our pound, our big pound. You know, it's a big money, right? All right. So now this is that. You see, the time it took me to just explain this thing, because I won't explain. That's what I like to teach. I won't explain anything relating to this again in any form. So I think I like my measure, so I'm just going to delete this one. Yeah, and drag my measure, the one that has my measure. Yeah. Now, we're also going to create, now that I've told you about measure, so I'm just going to be fast in creating another measure that I use. So we'll create a measure for total units sold. Now notice that before I create measure, I like to click on the table so that I know that I'm creating that measure based on the data on this table. That's one thing. So once you click on the table, that's when you see, or you can right click. Maybe I'll just use right click. So you know that there are so many ways to access it. You can just right click and click new measure. So new measure will come out, and we'll create a measure for total units sold. Total units sold, yeah, equals to some. Now units sold is in, look for units sold. Yeah, I just select units sold and close my bracket. This is a unit sold. This is the unit sold as a column. So, but this is it as a measure. Now, I'll just click here for another card. Now, Power BI is thinking that maybe I want to do other thing, but we'll come to formatting. That's where I will also talk about alignment and all that. So let me not just be distracted. So we can see how we can cover up. Now we'll drag the total units here. Exactly. Now it is not a number, so there's no need for what? For putting the currency and all that. So these are the differences. People need to know which one is for currency, which one is just a number of something, because it's a count, it's like a count. So this is a count, this is currency, this is count. So count of units sold or total units sold is this. Now, so the next thing we'll look at, we'll create, now we've created this thing. So remember, this whole dashboard is all about what? Sales. So all our analysis will be all about sales. So what we'll do next is to create total sales by product. Now, the best way we feel that we can create this is to use horizontal bar charts. All right. So here, I'm also going to take my time to explain this part again, so that you understand the very basics of this chart. So if I click out, this thing will go out. So you know that you have to select the chart for the axis, for the axis to come out, so you know what you are doing. Now, because this is a horizontal bar chart, sorry, excuse me. Because this is a horizontal bar chart, the y-axis is one that will take the metrics. Sorry, the y-axis is one that will take the categorical column, while the x-axis is the one that will take the metrics. Metrics is what you are calculating it by. So we want to see in our dashboard, we had product. So we want to see this product, we put it on the x-axis. Sorry, on the y-axis. So the product is on the y-axis waiting for us. Now, let me show you something. Because this is a bar chart, if I try to drag this categorical column into x-axis, it will not take it in. Power BI made it in is also a way, is a corrective measure that Power BI use to make sure that you know what you've selected. So watch, if we drag this here, what it's going to do is going to count it, because this axis, y-axis, is only going to take numeric operation. That's why so Power BI is thinking, oh, do you want to count this? Because it knows that it is only a mathematical operation that should, or a measure that should be that should be on the x-axis, because you are using this. But let me just show you a bit something. If it is here, if I just select a vertical bar chart, and then I put that product on the same x-axis, watch, it takes it in. But if I put it on y-axis, it tells me count. So these are just variations, like I was telling you, of knowing how to use your charts, where to use them, and when to use them. So if you are using a horizontal bar chart, that means that if you are using, let me go back to what we had. If you are using a horizontal bar chart, what that means is the first axis is one that takes categorical column. You see, the first axis is your y-axis, and it means that's one that will take your categorical column. While the second axis, whatever it is, whether y or x, is one that will take your metrics. Your metrics is, I will tell you what I mean by metrics, or your measure. Now, if we select this chart, the first axis becomes y-axis. If we select this chart, the first axis becomes x-axis. These are some important things that you need to note. So what that tells you, it tells you that, oh, that the first axis is one that will take your, especially for bar charts, not in all charts, is the one that will take your categorical column. While the second one is one that will take your metrics. Legend is, as time goes on, where cases of legend come. I will also explain that, and also that of two-tip. So we'll only be explaining as it concerns us in this dashboard. Now, so back to this. What we want to use is horizontal bar chart. So we'll drag. That's one thing I love about Power BI, just drag and drop. Once you understand everything, drag and drop, drag and drop. So the x-axis now, I have already created a measure. So what that means is I want to see the spread of the products the products sold by some of their sales. So each of the products, the whole products that were sold in this business, we want to see the spread or distribution of their total sales. So once we drag total sales here, it tells us per sale, our two-tip tells us, right, is about 33 million total sales. VTT about 20.5 million. Velo is about 18.25 million. or 18,250,000. As you can see, I'm only just approximating it in my head. So and all that. So that's because that's what we want. Remember, like I said, I'm only going to build basic charts, so that after building the basic charts, then we will now talk of formatting. I only formatted these dashboard first, just for you to have an idea of, there are different ways people do things. People, maybe after the whole thing, they can then format their dashboard. I want to see the look and feel of my background, so to remind me the colors to select from my chart. Why some as well, they wait until after their chart to then know the look and feel of the background they will use. But in any case, in the business sense of things, or in reality as well, you are likely going to use your business color, or what we call your brand color, to align with it. That's but in the reality. But this is only a tutorial, so we are allowed to use any color we want. But in the business sense of things, you are likely to use the brand color of the business you are representing. Yeah, that's the logics there. Now, so this is just the basic chart, which is one, total sales by product. Now the next thing now this time around thank God I've explained that of the how to use vertical bar charts. So you see, Power BI sometimes tries to study the structure of your dashboard. This is exactly where I want this to be. So Power BI noticed that, okay, I put this, and then I put this here. So in the way Power BI thinks, so Power BI thinks that, okay, you want to align your chart vertically. That is why immediately I selected this, it put it here, and it aligned it according to what we had already. Powerful, right? That's one thing I love too. It makes your work easy. Just drag and drop, click, and everything is just flowing. I like the artificial intelligence somehow that is being applied in Power BI. They have really developed and really improved so far since I've started using Power BI for over 3 years now. They have really developed. Okay, so the next chart we are going to use is total sales by customer segment. So like I said, you see, everything is all about sales. Total sales by this, total sales by that. So that's also one thing about analytics flow. There should be a flow, there should be a connection in all the charts in a particular dashboard or page. There should be a connection, and they should be telling a story. We'll connect all of these together. So you see, what is the story that we can drive from this? Now, so on the second dashboard, I remember I click select so that I can see. There's also another way. I can also drag. I may not need to even select this. I can drag. Let's try that. So the next one is customer segment. So let's say, where is our customer segment? So this is the segment column. So I will just drag it to the chart. Remember, the first time we'll say, I'm just going to be showing you different ways. We clicked on the chart, and then we'll drag these columns and measures according to the axis that we want. But what I'll do in this one, I'm going to just drag the column that I want into that chart. Can you see? So I just drag it in. I did not select the chart, just drag it into that chart, and it's selected. Now, another thing, Power BI, so because we drag, the Power BI automatically places it where it should be. It places it where it should be, right? So you just drag it drag and drop. Power BI will do the rest for you. Just drag and drop. All you need to do is just select your chart. This is for cases where you are confused where to place your axis. Select the chart and drag and drop into the chart. Power BI will go and place it where it's supposed to be. Now, we also want to see the segment by total sales. So I'm only also going to drag the total sales. So once you see plus sign, means that it is droppable. That plus sign shows that you can drop it, that operation you are trying to do is possible. So I'm going to leave it. So Power BI places it where it should be automatically, as you can see. So it is being placed. This is cases where you are fast. There are different ways that you are doing stuff, and then Power BI will just drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. Power BI will be doing the work for you. You don't need to start cracking your head, but when it's good to always show it in, so you know the root of things. It's always good to know the root of things. So this is total sales by what? Segment. Now remember that what we had in our dashboard was total sales by customer segment. So I can rename it according to what we had. This is just to show you unadulterated how I did it. That's what we are doing. Now this is where I hope you saw what I did. Okay, let me go back. So here, this is the format pane or tab. So look at it, format your visual. So this is where we'll do the formatting. But just for the sake of making sure that the titles are correct, I will come to the general and then go to the title. This is where I can rename it. I can rename it according to what I want. Customer segment. Customer segment. Okay. Right? Customer segment. Also, another way to do it is to come here and just rename this particular segment to customer segment, and it will take place automatically. So that's another way to go about it. Just rename it and it will take place. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to look at the months, the sales by months, total sales by months. That's what we're going to look at. So the best way we feel that we can do that is by days. Line and cluster charts. There is stacked and there is cluster. So we use cluster. Now, remember, because we are confused, let's assume we are confused. We don't know where to place which, just like we did here. So I'm going to drag here. This is where you can select your month. So automatically, Power BI has arranged this, has arranged the hierarchy, the date hierarchy according to year, quarter, month, and day. But because I'm only interested in the quarter, in the month, I'm only going to drag the month to this place. See what I'm doing? I place it there. Remember, I didn't start checking where am I going. I just drag it to the chart. Power BI will do the rest for you. And then I want to see it by total sales. So I'll just drag it to this place. Power BI tells me exactly how it is here. Now, because in Excel, we call it combo charts. Combo charts means like combination of both line charts and bar charts. So there is this space for me. So it depends on what I want. if I want the bars to represent the total sales, I can do that. If I want the line to represent the total sales sold, I can do that. So here, because I first of all selected total sales sold, let's assume I want to also drag total sales to this place. Watch, if I drag it here, now Power BI is confused because it is cluster chart. Now because I don't want the two of the metrics to stand as column. I want one to stand as column and then one to stand as line chart in one chart as well. So what we'll do, we'll drag the unit sold or anyone that you want, depending on what you want to do. I'll drag it to the line column. So what that means is the column, the bars represent the total sales, if you can see, while the line represents total units sold. So that's one way we use it. So the essence of I can bring this down a bit so that we can see the full length of it. Yeah, you can see the full length. So you can see really the actual length of that. So the essence of this is this line just tells us an indication is the total sales moving alongside with sales sold, or are they moving in zigzag? Zigzag direction means, for instance, look at here, we have very limited units sold, yet we had a very good number of sales made. Why here? Why in some cases we had the same, watch, they're almost the same line charts, very limited, and then still higher. So it just tells you is the unit sold moving in line with the total sales. So that's an indication. So which we can see here, most of the times that sales were higher, the units were also higher. Some of the times also that the units were lower, they in comparison to other bars, those times that the units were lower, also the sales were also lower in comparison to other charts. So it's just an indication of how the total sales and units sold, how they move along throughout the month for that particular year, depending on what you want to do. So that's the basic analysis we can give regarding this chart. So you see our charts are forming. Then remaining two more charts for our basic, which is the map and then the pie charts. So so the next is the pie chart. Let's select the pie chart. So you see, watch, Power BI, because I placed this here, watch, because I placed this here and then I extended the length to this place. Power BI assumes that I want to also do another big chart like this, but that's not what I want to do. Power BI I try, but then I will still have to drag it exactly to the way I want it. So sometimes Power BI will suggest right exactly to what you are doing. Sometimes you may not know what you are doing, so you decide for yourself what is it that you want to do. Now, just to tell you how Power BI builds tasks again, I'm going to select the map chart. If I select it, you see that Power BI will automatically place it here. So I'm going to select the map chart. You see, so Power BI assumes that, oh, so if I'm going to select another chart, then that means this is exactly where I want to place it, and this is where I want that chart to be. So that's also one thing. Power BI learns from what you are doing. It suggests from what you are doing It suggests you some steps towards what you are doing. As it is learning from you, it is also suggesting. So it learned that I basically want two charts here. That's why, oh, if I resize this chart to this level, then that means I want another chart to be here. It's just artificial intelligence. It's just automatic. It's assuming these things. So here, what do we want to see? Now, one thing I'm going to talk about, I've seen a lot of charts that even in some professional sites, I wonder, when you are using pie charts or ring, some call it donut chart, some call it ring chart, or so donut chart or ring chart, whatever it is, for this chart and pie chart. If you are using them, it shouldn't be more than that. You love that chart, the categories shouldn't be more than 5. That you love that chart, it shouldn't be more than 5. Me, in most cases, I only use it when the categories are just 4 or 3. That's when I like to use my pie chart, because that way you can easily see the demarcations, the distinctions between them. So now, for the pie chart, what we want to see the discounts, total sales by discount band. So discount band. So band is like class, like class of things. So we have the class of discounts that fall within low, discounts that fall within medium, discounts that fall within high, and then the class where there are no discount. So that is what we call band or class. So in most cases, you may even be the one that will have to create this band. But because this is a sample data set, everything has been given to us. In some charts, in some work or projects, you may have to create those bands for yourself, just to section things and see where things fall within some certain classes. So what you have to do is this discount band. We're gonna drag it here and then drag through sales, because that's what we want. So you see, immediately it tells us total sales by where I will come to formatting. I'm always tempted to format things, but I'm going to leave it like this so that when we come to formatting, you know that it's a different ball game. Another thing that we'll look at is the month. So now I'm going to just drag the country into the charts. We'll drag the country into the chart, and then we'll drag total sales. See what will happen. So immediately we drag total sales, Power BI assumes that it will use the bubble sizes to indicate the total sales. So this is Canada, this is United States of America, this is Mexico, this is France, this is Germany. So these are just the basic charts that we'll have. Every other thing here. So first thing first is, for me, what always stands out for me is to build the basic charts. And that is also what I want to teach you today. The ability to build the basic charts. For me, this is like someone that has built a house. So we have built a house. What is remaining is to do the finishing and touching. Paint it, put this, put AC inside, put this. Those ones are now secondary. As a data analyst, what we've done today is the first and the foremost of every analysis, which is to put in the charts, the actual charts, the visualizations. And then and then tell a story from it, basically, before every other thing. Sometimes people just build beautiful nonsense. Beautiful nonsense. Very nice formatting, everything on point. But then the analysis is not connecting, it's not making sense. But they have built this dashboard and it's making sense. Looking at it, pleasing to the eye. But what is the dashboard saying? What can we drive from the dashboard? What is that particular page saying? What is it telling the stakeholders? These are the important things for me. And I feel that it should be the first and foremost in every of your analysis to first of all build your basic analytics. Every other thing is where you start learning how to be a good painter, a good designer. That's secondary. What makes you a data analyst is what we've done. As a stakeholder, the basic thing they need is already here. The things they need from this page, we have done. What is left is just, for you to, paint it, put AC inside, put software inside, that's what we call formatting and designing. That's what is left. So that's the basic thing. So we'll start our formatting. I don't know if we'll still have more time left, but as time goes on, we'll see at some point, we'll see what we can do up to this place. Now, the first thing first is we'll start from our card. What do we want to do? Now, before I start formatting, I want to change the background of my charts because it is still white. So remember in our original dashboard, it is like ash. That's the color we use, ash. And that ash, I think, is, so this is where you can change the color of your, I just needed to confirm from our original dashboard what we use. So this is where we use, come here, and then come to the wallpaper. Then there are also cases where you see those that use picture background. So this is also where you can select a picture background. So you add that image, that's what will serve as the background image of that dashboard. But I don't think I like picture background in my analysis. I don't know why, I just don't like it. So look, I think we're gonna use 30% darker white. So this is a thin color in Power BI. So I'm going to use 30%. This one, I want you to, when you're doing, to understand the first one is 10%. This is ash color of different grades, shade, I mean. So this is 10% darker, 20% darker, 30% darker, 50% darker, and 60% darker. I'm using 30%. Yes, so it's 30% that we are using. So you can see that things are taking form. I will come to alignment. I'm seeing some alignment issues here, but we'll come to it. I just want us to, first of all, understand that we are now in formatting so that we'll do everything once. Now, first thing is I want it to assume. If you want your chart to assume the color of your background, what you do is simple. Just come to effects and then turn off the background color of that chart. You see, if we turn it off, it will assume this color, this our color of the background color of that page or that dashboard. That is what it will assume immediately. Now, Next thing is to change the color of, so this color, our color, I want it to assume the color that we have from the original dashboard, which let me go and copy it. I'll also show you the hex code so that if you wish to do exactly like my own, you can also do it. I'm just gonna I've copied it. And also, if you also wish to choose a color of your own, like I said, there are a whole lot of colors. Some of you might even have a better appealing dashboard than mine. And that is the power I'm giving you to be a boss of your own. Try to be creative as well. That way, because that is the way I started. You'll be teaching me and you're using green, and in my head, I will just choose a color of my that. And over time, it made me confident in designing. It made me to always have a sense of design. That is one way you can also train yourself. But maybe for the first time, you just want to do as I'm doing, that's fine. So this is where you can paste. If you want, if the color is not here, come to more colors. That's where I click. Come here. I have copied that color. So if you go to Google and copy any hex code of your choice, if you copy, just come here and paste it. You see, I just pasted it. So this is the hex color code. Either you can just type it into your own and it will give you the same. That's one thing about hex code. Hex code. It means once you use this code, it will be the exact color wherever. Even if your screen is giving you a different color, it is the same color. It is the same color generally. So that's why I always like hex code. If I want to copy somebody's color, all I will just have to do is just to know the hex code of that color. I don't need to suffer myself and look at it. No, just hex code of the color. I'll go and put it in my own, and that's it. So this is the color. Just click OK. It assumes the color that we want. For the that. I think the font is the same, the way we want, but we need to change the category label. Category, this colored value is for this value. Category label for cards charts is the label here. Total sales. You can format it. So let's assume I want it to be 14, and then bold. I just want it to be 14 and bold. And then the color. Now, because I want it to assume the color of this our navy blue background, which we have already used. You see, one thing I'm telling you about recent colors. All the colors that we used, Power BI is keeping it for us. In case if you want to repeat the color, to avoid discrepancy in color or color disparity. So this is it. Yeah. So it takes this. Now, another thing that I want us to then I'll also build. I'll add. There is that thing that you see that is a bit like a little shade, a little shade on the charts. If you are looking at the original charts, I'll pop out the picture of the original chart, so you always see where we are making reference to. Now, I'll just go to general. So general formatting is all about it doesn't really need to be about that particular chart. It means it can even be applied to other charts. So any formatting I do on this particular chart under this general can be applied to every other chart. One of them is the effects, which is turning off the chart background. Now, another thing that I want every other chart to do, you will see why because we'll copy the formatting. You don't suffer yourself. Just make your work easy. Now put shadow. Now put shadow. Thank you. So you can see this shadow. Now this shadow also has a color. It has a color. Now I can decide to give it let me be sure of the color we use so that we'll keep it the same. The shadow color, yes, it was the 10%. So just a little shade. Remember, we use 30% as the main color, but the shadow color will just be 10%. 10%. That's what we need. Yeah, 10%. Yes, and that's that. So one thing about formatting, I'm teaching you the how will I put it, the easiest way to format your work. The easiest way to format your work. The easiest way to format your work is what we are doing, and that is just do it on one. You don't basically need to repeat it. Once you've done it on one, I love that. You see, format painter. Click on that chart that you want to copy the format. You see format painter at the top left. Now I will click on it. You see something like brush. You see, I'll come here. If I place it here, it will copy everything that we've done here to this. Watch. You see, we don't need to suffer. I don't need to suffer myself again. And because I want, remember what I said about the general formatting. So I want all the general formatting to take place in all the charts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this, what we've done here, to all the charts. So I'll also copy this, place it here, copy it again, place it here, copy it again, place it here, copy this again, place it here, copy this again, place it here. All right. So you see, it is not looking exactly like what we had in the first place. Now, but alignment will come in place. We'll come to the alignment part. It's just to show us some of the things that we are doing and how easily it can be done. So so the next thing, I am done with these two. I'll still come to the alignment. There are still some few alignments that I may need to do. So we'll come to that. But let's come to this. You see, this is not exactly like what we had in the other dashboard. Now, to this, first thing first is I'm going to add the data labels. Okay, let me show you. I think I was a bit fast. So when you select the charts, now this is only the axis tab. There you can put all your axes. That's what this, look at this visual tab is. Even the line, it tells you that's where you drag your axis. But you see this one that comes with paint, means that is where you can format that chart. So we'll come to this part. So you know when we are moving from which to which. And then under this format, we still have visual and general. Visual can be applied on the visual on that chart. While general means the formatting that can be applied to also other charts and not basically on that chart. Just as you've seen, the formatting we did from card were applied in all other charts. That's why they are separated as general. But the ones that are basically for that visual, we are only copied to the exact chart, which is also the card chart. So that is what it does. Now here, all I'm going to do is to add the, I'm going to add the data labels. You see, at first it will be off, so it depends. So I'll just turn it on. You see, so I turn it on. Power BI has really developed. I turn it on because when we copied this thing, Power BI suspected that we might be needing this because of how we copied. So the lab, remember, let me take it back. Category label. So that label that we use on this number, that is what Power BI is assuming that we will need on this chart. Automatically, we didn't change it. So immediately we on that thing, it's automatically use. See, automatically use. Look at the values. You see, automatically use the color of what we already have. But this is also where I hope it's not too, still under your data labels. This is where then you come to values. In case if you want to change the color, this is not the color you want to change the color, you just come under the values and change the color. Now, that's for the data labels. So we'll come to the column. The bars, and change this blue color to what we want, which is this color. This is the color we want. We change it, and it takes the color, the exact color that we want. Now, there are also things I feel that are repeated. What are those things? When you look at total sales by product, your title has already covered your axis title. For me, it is arguable, but for me, once a proper chart you shouldn't have some call it redundancy in your formatting. You have the title has already said what that chart is about, which is total sales by product. So what that automatically tells you is that these things are the products, while these are the total sales, because that is what your title says. So in that case, all we need to do is to go and look at, you come under your y-axis, you turn off the title. You see the title, turn it off. It goes. I also come under the x-axis. I turn off the title so that the total sales here will go. The total sales, we turn it off, it goes. Now, because this is a bar chart and because we have already added the data labels, there are two ways. Either you add data labels and remove the x-axis, or you leave the x-axis and then there's no need putting the data labels. Because what this x-axis and the green line and the grid lines is trying to do is to give us an idea of what the bar is all about, like the sizes of the bar in terms of sales. Look at this is 20 million. So you can see that 20 million is almost around this, which is about 21. So if you have already put data labels, I believe that there is no need this number being here. So you need to off that x-axis. That way, if someone is looking, there is no confusion here, there is no ambiguity here. We are looking at the product and we are looking at the total sales. That's it. That's it. So that number, those axes, you don't need it again because you have put the necessary things that will help your readers to understand what you've done. All right. Then we can also change the color title of, so this title, the chart title, this is the text color. We can also change it to remain the blue, which is what we are using, and then bold it. You see that all of them are bold. So the same way we had 14 is same way we have 14 here, and the same color. That's formatting. So make sure the uniformity of your formats are very, very important. Now, time to do copy and paste. I love that part. Now, yeah, we're going to give some, some lining just to make sense. We're just going to do create some lining. Good. Alignment is very, very important. Alignment is very, very important. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy this. See what will happen now. We're going to copy this. We're going to copy this. See our format painting and put it in the other one. Everything that we've done here will just be applied here. No waste of time. Copy, paste. See? Everything that we did here, because it's the same bar chart, will be applied here immediately. So we can also reduce, just add some few, just show some few lines. Yes, alignment is very, very important. Okay. Yeah. So then again, because I also have this, so what I'm also going to do, I'm going to copy this, just easy. Copy the paint and place it here and see what happens. Good. At least it did most of the part that we want, right? So the next part is, I'm going to be a bit fast. So let's see if we can just finish the first dashboard in this part too. To be very, very, I know you all like it. So the next thing is just to do the finishing and touches. So what are these? The first thing is to remove these things. So we'll come to this chart is first of all selected. That's the first thing we make sure it is selected. And then we'll come to the data labels. Now, this is applied to all series. I want only, first of all, I want to see only the data labels for the total sales. So what I'm going to do is I'll select total units. Because I selected total units, I'll then off the show data labels. I'll off it. Now, because that is, I want to off the data labels for the line. The line is for the total units, while the bars is for total the total sales. So I'll select again back the total sales. Because I've selected the total sales, which I want the labels to be on, I will then off the background of that this thing you are seeing is the background. I don't want the background. I want it to be on it. So I'll off the background of that data labels. I'll off it. So because I off it now, I can now easily see the numbers the way they are, right? Then again, what is left for me is now the line. I will come to the line column. The line, yes, we'll come to the line and change the color. See, under that line, you can come to the line, change the color to this our color. Now, it has assumed that color. Now, there's also what we call style, or like joint type. Do you get? So I can make the joint type to be, the markers, sorry, that's what I'm looking for. Yes, markers. So I'll put markers on. Markers is this, it's kind of like, I like the way markers just tells you where things are, how that line is connected. That's why I like my markers. You can also put some styling in your markers. For mine is round. You can also, there is also this, always try new things for yourself. But let me put it back to what our original charts, our original dashboard, what it is. So that is what it is. What other things? So we want these months to be bold, we want them to be bold enough. So we'll come to the x-axis. Under the values for the x-axis, we'll just click on bold, right? So that they can somehow be bold enough. Now, this axis is for the line. This axis is for the what? The line chart. Why the tab doesn't have axis? Originally, the axis of the tab supposed to be here, but because we don't want it, due to they already have data labels, we don't need it. So we only need the axis of the line so that we can have an idea. As looking at this can tell us the axis of this line in remember, it is in million. So we can even decide to change it to 1,000 or thereabout. So it's just, look at this now. This is about 121,000. That's why it is around 0.1 million. So the axis gives us an idea of where the line stands, because the line doesn't have data labels. That is why we left the axis. So these are just few important things that are necessary. Formatting is about detailing. You have to be detailed in your formatting. Now, we'll come here again. I don't like another formatting we'll use so that it will assume. So I'll come here again. I'll copy this and paste it here, so that it will take what it has done is the title. That's the only thing it changed. That's why title is in the general, if you remember. And then I'll also copy it again and put here. Oh, there's a mistake. If you make a mistake, you can go back. You can see the back button. This is the map chart that I want to copy this. I copy this, copy the format, put it. Yes, that's where. So that when next I'm coming, I know that I'm not touching the general formatting again. So here, what do we need here? Just change the axis color. First of all, I don't like the legend. Legend is this. This is what we call legend. They like, it tells us the key. Some people call it key. From Excel, we call it key. The key of the pie chart. So I can decide to change the position. I don't like the center right. I can decide to make it top. See, there is top left. Top left means it will be here. Top center means it will be between here and here, but I want it top left so that my slices can be bigger, because this is taking the space of the slices. So I'll take it here. So you see the difference. So your slices is now bigger because you have removed that legend. And then I feel like we don't necessarily need to, because we have said total sales by discount band. So this discount band that is here, we don't need that title. So we'll come to the legend under the title and we'll turn it off. So that space, we don't need that space. This is where you manage your space. Then we'll have total sales by discount band. Then next is now the slices, just to change the colors of the slices. We start from here. I'm trying to look at the original dashboard to copy exactly what we've done, because that is our goal of this. We are trying to copy exactly what we did and how we did it. That's why I'm looking at it. Now, the two other colors, I'm going to copy it out. I'm going to copy them out. Copy and then paste the hex code. That's what we are going to do. The hex code, that's what we need. The hex code of, hold on. So for this, because I've copied the hex code, I'll just come here and paste it. That's it. The next one, I'll copy the hex code of, and then come here, come under the more colors. That's where you paste your code and paste this. Now, like I said, designing is all about, if you look at these colors, for those that will choose their own colors, try to select complementary colors, that the complementary colors to each other and also to your background color. It's very, very important. That way it makes it appealing. So you don't need to choose off color or something. So we're all dealing with dark colors. That's why you see me bringing in some, some little shades of dark colors as well. That is what you see us doing in all of this, because already our background color is a light color, which is light ash, 30% darker. So that way, what it will need or what will perfect it will be dark color. That will bring it out. If you're already using a dark color in the background, then you need more of a light color in your fonts or in your charts. You see how it goes. Then again, I think that's it for the charts, the slides, the pie chart, and then for the map, it's easy. Just go to the bubble. So we can also decide to increase the bubble size. Yes, you can decide to increase your bubble size. For those that don't know, watch. You see, to 2. You see, it increases. That's if you want. What other thing you can change? Then let's change our style of the map. There are different styles now, because we are using already a gray background. We'll just use a gray scale. See what it will do. It will assume almost the color of the background. Nice, isn't it? Then another thing, you can also add control. Just for those that wish to zoom, just add zoom button. Yeah, so that people can easily click on the zoom just to, if they want. And then category labels. Now, category labels is to now show the countries. You can also format it. Format it in, first of all, I don't want the background. Yes, there was no background in our own. So remove the background, and then you change the font to what we had. And then because I want it obvious, and just select it. Yes, that is exactly what we had in the other one. And the bubble color as well. I think we had, I forgot the bubble color. What we had in the bubble color was, yes, I think is the same. Yeah, it's the same. So our dashboard is taking form, right? So this is how we built our first dashboard. We named the page to, let me look at, like I said, alignment is also another important business in formatting. Alignment is very, very important. Your alignment is important. You see what I'm doing. So you see that once that line matches with the line of the other one, it shows that it has fallen to where you want it to fall. Now, it's also a good practice not to You see this line here. You see this line here. It's also a good practice to not to allow your chart to hit on the last line. Just I think it's just a design thing. Don't allow. Yes, we have to give a little space. That's a little space in our, yes. We'll also do the same here. Don't allow it hit on the wall of exactly. It gives it some kind of, then let's give a little space between these two so that one can easily see what's going on here. Interesting. So I seen those little shades of color, yeah, little shades, yeah, that looks like the way it was in our own, yeah. So this is our first dashboard. So then we'll come here and rename sales overview. That's it. So this is everything we did in the first dashboard. In subsequent time, no, there is, how can I forget the slicer? The slicer, very, very important. The slicer, we have slicer and yeah, some of the things that we had on the column. So we'll put our slicer here. This is our slicer. Now this is where we'll put the year. Just drag the year. Now I don't want it in this form, so I can just change the type of, I can change it from here. Oh, it's now in the, okay, they have changed it. Before, you can just change it from here, but now it's now in the formatting style. So we'll come here and change it in the slicer setting. I don't want it to be in between. I want it to take the tile, just like where we can, yeah, this is all, you will see what we'll do. Now, another thing, this is what I want to do. So if you reshape it, it will then take the form that you want it to take. First of all, the slicer head, remove it. And place, remove, you see how we remove all the things that you are looking at now, because we don't want them. Then we'll what other thing that we did there? Okay, just the border. No, this is not the background. Yeah, the fets turn off. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Yes, let's shift it a bit to align with other ones. So now all these things, if you want to see what happened in September, we'll click here. Want to see what happened? See. So this is your slicer. Everything that have the sales overview in each of the year. I'm only using this, like I said, analysis is about your data set because we only have 2 years. If in cases where we have good number of years, I may not need the tiles because they will fill everywhere. So we'll do the drop down. So your analysis should just fall according to your data set. You need to always remember that. Then what other things did we add on the heading? Select ye. So it's just that thing is just to bring text. Select ye. Okay, yeah, that's it. We'll format it. Format it just like others. So off the background, then make it white, only white. I'll just shorten it. These things I just drag it here. Select it. Yeah, so this is just an indication. What else did we do? So there's also what we call there are some buttons that are very, very necessary. For instance, there is a clear buttons, which is, I'm going to add it now. Clear all slicers. So in case, if it's just a way to, one button to clear all the slices than clearing the slices one by one. So you may not necessarily need that. So this is where we can format it. And then just format it, style it, I mean. In the styling, I'll just change the font to white. What other thing? Then I want the icon to show. Under the styling, please see what I'm doing. I want the styling to show. The icon to show. I'll just click show icon and then I'll make it white. Yes, I'll make it white. Then I'll try to shorten it a bit. Yeah. So these were all yeah. Then there is also another button that we did. I can, yes, the border. We can remove the border because the border was showing. Yeah, I'll just turn off the border. Yes, we don't need it. Let me click out again. Yes, we don't need it. Alignment is important to make sure it's in the same line with select here. Then I'll select another button. See where I went. Insert, under insert, you come here and then insert button. So I'll insert Q&A. Q&A is where we can ask questions about the dashboard. So I'll still explain. It shows the icon. Now I can just copy this. I copy the select here and then paste. So it's double. So this is where I can write. Just give your audience a clue of what that icon is about. So that's the whole idea, which is click to ask further question. Yes. So just drag it. Make sure it's in line with the select here. So then make it, we'll just style it a bit, just to make it white, not so much, just to make it white. go to the style, go to the icon, then go to line color, select white. So it will be like others. What other? Yes, I think that's everything on our header. Yes. So no, the page navigations will come when we are done with the whole thing. Then I will show us the page navigation, how we can build the page navigation. So, but this is what I was saying about clearing. Let's make use of them now. So in 2014, this is what happened in 2014. And let's say that we want to see in that 2014, how did Paseo perform as a whole? So we'll click on Paseo. So 2014, so we have so many filters now. So instead of clicking here, you don't even know how to go back again. Just come to, that's the idea for your viewers. It helps it's just an interactive button that helps your viewers, sorry, your readers or your users to just come here. If you are still under development is if you're using Power BI desktop, you have to click Control before you can make use of it. That's happening. Hang on. I'm not sure what it is. So it has cleared. Oh, it has cleared. I was looking at, hang on, let me see. Okay, so this clear all slicers is only applied to slicers, not other filters. Like this is like chart filter, where you just click on the chart, but slicer is on these slicers. Like if I click here, or in the cases where you have drop down, where you selected some things and you want to clear the slicer, just come here and control. Because you are still under development, which is Power BI desktop, you've not deployed it. So if you want to test the button, what you do is you press control before you now click on that button. That way it has cleared. So back to the way it was. So yeah, I'm seeing, yes, the borderline on this slicer, just to remove the border. I think no, the border is let's check. It's off. Yes, I know. So yes, this is the border. So we can change the color to, let's make it white. So you just take, yes, let's make it white. So we won't be seeing that pencil color of a thing. Yes. Okay. So this is our first page done and dusted. The alignment is intact. Alignment is just to make sure that, you see, this is what we call alignment. Everything here is in alignment from here to here. They're all in alignment. And then the demarcations here are in alignment. The demarcations, the lines here, so these are either horizontal or either vertical or horizontal alignment. Just make sure that the alignments are in line with each other. That is it gives it a good color and all that. Yep, that's this is basically what we did in our first dashboard, exactly the way it was. So anything we're missing. Yeah, that's basically that. So try this. I would like to see some of you guys try this first page. And now next, there is something I need to do here, which is grouping, yes. So that if we are moving it, it's just a design thing anyway. See what I'll do. I'll mark this. Now I'll mark this as a shape and also mark this. No, hang on. I'll mark this and then also mark this. Press Control to mark it. So I've marked these two. I want to group them so that I can move two of them as one entity. So as I've marked it, I'll just go to the format of a page and then I'll say group. I'll group it. So you see, it's now taken as, let me show you what I mean. See, it's now taking it as what? A one entity. The same thing I will do here. First of all, click on the icon first, then click on the text shape. Just go to format, come here and group. What we did is what Power BI did with this automatically. This is already a group, so I don't need to make it because Power BI built it as a single shape. So you can see that the selection will tell you is already one button. Now this is now one button, this is now one button. So we can easily move them. So that now if you're moving this and you are still having this, so or if you are copying it, you can just copy it as. So these are just a few more finishing and touches. Yes, I'm seeing a single thing here that we didn't do. For this particular shape, I think we didn't change the borderline. I can see the borderline, yes. I was seeing the borderline, yes. Turn it off. It's now clean. So, like I said, formatting is about detail. You have to be detailed down to the little tiny changes. Tell me what you think about this, and I would like you to try it out and put it on my comment section. I would really like some of you to try this and show me. It will encourage me. Our next part will be Swift because it will be more of duplicate this page, copy, paste, change chart. So it will be more easy than it will be easier than what we've done today. Thank you guys and see you in my next phase.